that, Bryce. Come on.
I don't know why you're surprised by it.
Right. Because, Bryce, you don't have to say that. You can say he's
why
playing some really
not? You got
because
your
it's a
guys
lie.
back.
It's a lie, and he doesn't believe it.
Oh, just like PJ Fleck doesn't believe what he said about Michigan.
It's Bryce. He played 2015 Ohio State.
Maybe
PJ
not
Fleck, you don't believe
everybody's
that.
in Buckeye fantasy
Wait.
land, man.
Bryce,
Look out now. The sideline. Forget about it. This baby's over.
Oh, my goodness. One man. Goodbye. Hello, Heisman.
And most especially in 310 days in Ann Arbor, Michigan, on the football field.
Another block. One more. He's got it. Touchdown. No flag. Samuel cuts it back. Ohio State wins. Here's the run again. Donovan Edwards. Whoa. Can they catch him? No. Donovan Edwards again. The down.
Alrighty. Welcome back to another episode. Why are you laughing already?
I'm sorry.
Such a maniacal laugh.
No, just go ahead. I'm sorry. Okay.
Sound like Stephen A.
No, okay. Bryce, is that because I'm black?
So, episode 24
I'm not gonna help you.
of Scarlet Blue Show. We are starting week 7.
7. Yep.
7. Buckeyes are fighting for bowl eligibility this week. Hopefully they'll be able to get it with their 6th win.
Why must you do that? Why must you start off with such stupidity like that?
Yeah, Garrison, there are some programs in the Big Ten East that would kill for 6 wins this year. We can't take this stuff for granted, man.
I take it for granted every year.
Yeah, well, you know what? Not everyone's as privileged as you are. We got Bucks going to West Lafayette, Terror Town for them. Got some thoughts on that, as I'm sure you do as well. Michigan's at home. Hoosiers coming to town. How are we feeling going into this week?
Man, I'm feeling good. It's Purdue. Now, do I have nightmares of going to that place? Yes, mostly at night. I mean, if you want to rewind the clock a little bit, there was a time we went into Purdue at night, man. And I remember watching that game with my sister and brother-in-law. Bryce, I don't think I've ever cussed so much during a game. I couldn't believe what was going on. I was on the phone with my mom and she heard it. It was bad. It was really bad. But I'm feeling really good, man. I thought Hudson Card would be better than he is right now. I think five touchdowns so far this year, 3 interceptions. He's averaging 7 per. So it's not like he's lighting it up over there in West Lafayette.
Let's just go back to that game in 2018. That game was absolutely bananas. I remember exactly where I was. We had a wedding that day, and we watched that game at a bar later that night. And I haven't been happier. Have not been happier because we beat.
Why were you happy?
Michigan beat Michigan State that day.
Okay.
So that was perfect. And then to see you guys lose it's just a treat.
Well, we didn't lose, Bryce. We got our doors blown off. And
Buckeyes 546 yards, Purdue 539, over 1,000 yards in total.
How many passes did Dwayne throw?
Dwayne threw 73 passes, 49 for 73,
which is actually really good. 49 for 73 is really good.
470 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. David Blau threw 43 times, 25-43, 378 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Bryce, what have I told you? The worst defense in Ohio State history.
That was
not even arguable.
That was Rondell Moore's coming out party too. I remember that.
That run he had, man. Never mind. It's 2023. Yeah, man. They do have. I think they have 2 really good running backs actually. Maccabee and what's his name, Tracy Jr. Maccabee, I think, averaging 4.2 a carry, has 4 touchdowns in the year. Tracy has 5, averaging, I think, what is it here? If I get this right, 5.9. So they've actually, for what it's worth, production wise, they've been a top 3-4 running back duo in the Big Ten. Now, what I did watch I watched some of the Iowa highlights from the game from the last game. What I did notice is that their old line is not that good in pass pro. They've given up 14 sacks this year. I mean, they've had 14 fumbles and lost 5 so far this year. So I mean, they're a team Bryce likes to give it up, or at least they attempt to give it up. Their they have like really fast wide receivers that if you give them time, they can get open. But I don't expect them to get open in this game. I expect the defense to keep doing what they're doing. On the defensive side, I mean, they give up 380 yards a game, man, 220 passing, about 150 rushing. They're just over that. I noticed something that's really weird. Their defensive line plays probably a half a yard or a yard, like a half yard off the line of scrimmage, which I don't understand why they do that. And Travion comes back this week. I expect him to be able to run on them at will. If there's a game where the offense gets together, Bryce, it has to be this week. It has to be this week. They're giving it to you on a silver platter. This is like forget a silver platter. This is fine china we're eating on here. It's a bad defense. So we'll see, man. Like I mean, I think we covered the spread. But I want 19? 19 and a half. 19 and a half. I need to see it happen in the first half. I don't want to see any more of this second half stuff.
That's a good take.
I just can't. I don't want to see it, man.
No slow starts.
No slow starts. I mean, I said it on Tuesday. Kyle's been very slow. The offense has been very slow. The play calling has been very slow. So yeah, man. It's Purdue, man. I mean, I just expect. I expect us to go in there and dog walk them, and we should. We should, especially because their offense isn't that great. It's not. So
you and I, at the beginning of the season, we both, I think, thought Purdue would be a decent team. You had Illinois, DC coming to be the head coach. You brought in, was it Graham Harrell? Is that who they brought in?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Should have this. Graham Harrell. And then, yeah, like you said, Hudson Carr. And it's been surprising. They dropped 1 to Iowa last week, which that offense is that offense.
I don't think they dropped it. I think that Iowa's defense is still one of the best offenses in the nation. That's a good way to put it.
But then they didn't compete with Wisconsin. I didn't watch the game. I'm looking just at the score here. I think it was 38-17. I got it right here. Yeah, 38-17. And then so I think it's been maybe disappointment for what Purdue thought they would be this year. At least we thought Purdue would be.
Yeah.
Garrison, though, are you at all? So John Cooper went in to West Lafayette in 2000, lost. Jim Tressel went into West Lafayette in 04 and 09, lost. Luke Fickell, 2011, lost. Urban Meyer, 2018, went to West Lafayette, lost. Yeah, tell me you're a little bit nervous here.
You know what all those guys have in common that Ryan Day does not?
Oh, gosh, what? What?
He doesn't drop those types of games. For what it's worth, man, for all the stuff for all the things that Ryan Day gets flack for, he doesn't lose to those other Big Ten teams. He like Penn State, not even Penn State. He smacks these teams outside of Michigan. That's what he does. Well, he has smacked Michigan before, but
not with his team. But yeah, go ahead.
It was okay. Was it, Bryce? This is the 3rd time in 3 episodes. Will you stop this? Good grief.
I can't. He's right here. I got to be honest with him in the room.
My phone's blocking it right now. Thank goodness. No, I don't. Ryan Day doesn't drop games like this, man. He just doesn't.
All right.
So,
all right.
Even when you get him into a corner like Northwestern did, it doesn't happen. He pulls it out. So
yeah. Penn State's I gave up the lead there, but next week you got Penn State, and we'll talk about that, of course, next week.
Mm-hmm.
But for this Saturday, Penn State's playing UMass, an old Don Brown powerhouse out east. So they've got a bit of a opportunity to essentially take a bye week. They're 41.5 point favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I'm you and Penn State, I'm feeling better if I'm Ohio State, because I think Purdue, while a Big Ten opponent, has not shown that they are a top tier opponent. It's still a good team. And this is what I'm trying to say is this is a get right game for the Bucks.
Yes,
I think if you can come out fast, come out strong, jump on them early, get a good lead, feel comfortable going into the third and fourth quarter, and then start to maybe rest some guys.
Yep.
That's best case scenario. However, though, if that doesn't happen, then you leave another week of just criticisms, and I'm sure Day blocks out a lot of the noise outside. But if it's another Maryland again with a slow first half, you get some disgruntled fans and some disgruntled press.
And for us, Purdue is not as good as Maryland. So I mean, like I said, Maryland's not the bar, but they're a good challenge. I mean, I don't think they're a bad team by any means necessary. But no, man, yeah, this is, like you said, it's a get right game. And if there was ever a week to do it, man, it's this week. It's this week.
Yeah.
So like get that offense some confidence before you get into that Penn State game. Because if I can just give you a little hint, like a little foreshadowing, man, I think that's gonna be a defensive battle. So
yeah, on 3, what's his name? JD Pinkle?
JD Pickle.
Yeah, he thinks Penn State's defense is gonna shut y'all down. I'm fired up for that game.
You know, and just real quick, like quick 2 cents on that. I do find that funny because for what it's worth, Penn State's offense hasn't been as good as Ohio State's.
They have played nobody too. Maybe West Virginia, but that was at home at night.
So I just think it's funny that people give them the benefit of the doubt, but we'll get to that later.
Garrison, as a Michigan fan and as a staunch hater of all things Ohio State football, y'all are getting a lot of crap right now. Y'all are getting a lot of the business, and
oh yeah,
I'm here for it. I'm part of it.
I love it. I love it. Please doubt us. Please doubt us.
There's a lot of national doubt. A lot of people saying Ohio State's the third best team in the Big Ten. So time will tell.
And it's funny, if you were to say second, that's of course understandable, but to say the third,
that's what I mean. Yeah,
but there's no data point right now that would tell you Ohio State's the third best team in the Big Ten. But for some odd reason,
they put Penn State ahead. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Like Bryce, I just want to ask you a question right now.
I'll be honest.
From what we know, who is a better quarterback right now, Drew Aller or Kyle McCord?
Oh, I give the nod to McCord. I don't know how you can say Aller, and I hate to say that. You know I hate to say that, but I don't know how you can put Aller ahead of McCord.
I mean, seemingly James Franklin and Drew Aller don't like throwing the ball down the field. So
I don't know. Well, we got plenty of time talking.
Yeah,
about
we got plenty. Yeah, exactly.
That'll be fun. Hopefully, this game against Purdue. Well, hopefully you guys lose, of course. But assuming you don't lose, hopefully it's a blowout, so we can get talking about.
That's so weak. If you don't want us undefeated at the game, you're so weak. But I will say, if you guys were to lose, that would be a great episode.
It's good content, man. It's good. I thought Notre Dame. I was so excited. Notre Dame. I was like, yes. I almost thought we should do a live show afterwards, but Notre Dame gave it to you. So, all right.
Don't trigger me.
Before we get into the talk about the Hoosiers, the hype for Michigan is real. Joel Klatt's talking about it. JD Pickle's talking about it.
He said no one's talking. I saw multiple places saying no one's talking about Michigan. I'm like, huh? Everybody is.
Everyone's
what are you talking about? Come on.
It's fun. I'm here for it. Interesting news today. JJ, two talking points on my boy number 9. He is the number 4 highest NIL earner. I don't know if you saw that today.
Ching ching.
Yep. It's real cool to see him get that. Michigan's got a lot of criticism for the NIL issues. And I think it's clear now that they're not going to pay high schoolers. Not going to guarantee high schoolers money, which I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm not saying that's right or wrong way to go. It clearly works for some to get the talent, but they're going to make sure that their guys who are experienced and have success get paid. And then to see that he's turning around and giving it to his old lineman is just freaking sweet. So we're a big JJ McCarthy show over here, aren't we, Garrison? Yes. One other note on Jonathan James. I think that's his name, Jonathan James. Maybe it is. I mean, I could have made that up. I thought I heard that somewhere. Kurt Campbell came out and he said in his press conference this week, he thinks that Bowling Green game was the turning point and could be the best moment for JJ McCarthy this year. I don't know why you're laughing. I don't know what's funny about that.
Wait, Bowling Green is the turning point.
It was the
Bowling
moment,
Green.
It was the
Bowling
moment
Green
where JJ said, "I don't need to throw for 400 yards, Coach. You don't need to do what they do in Columbus and
No,
Happy
Bryce,
Valley.
he can't. No,
Put me in the game in the fourth quarter.
Stop. No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go.
He doesn't need to be in the game in the fourth quarter. He's like, you know what? Take me out. Let's let the other guys get reps. More than that, too. I would rather show a fake on a play action pass. I would rather dump it down. I'd rather hand it off to Khalil Mullins for a 3-yard touchdown or give it to Blake Corum on a dive than put up 400 yards. I'm team first. I'm not going to force it anymore. That's what we have with us for this top QBR quarterback.
What he was doing had nothing to do with him trying to throw for 400 yards. What it was is him struggling still, or at least in that moment.
No.
Wait, no. I let you talk. I let you talk.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so what I was saying was, in that moment, in that game, what that was is him reverting back to his old ways of being very turnover happy and not reading defenses correctly and doing too much. That's exactly what that was.
That's just a wrong take.
Bryce, he ran to his left and he did not try and throw it out of bounds. He threw a stupid pass on the sideline and got picked off. Did that not happen? Yes or no?
That's not him.
And one of his touchdowns that he got to CJ should have been picked off. So he come on, let's be.
Those picks were
intellectually honest. Let's be intellectually honest.
Those picks were not him getting beat, not him reverting back to his old ways. It was him trying to force the issue. I don't know if you heard me. It was him trying to force the issue, trying to pump up numbers, throwing the ball where it shouldn't be. We already talked about this. The first pick, AJ Barner ran the wrong route and got too deep and led his defender into
you hear this? You hear this, Kovu? Kovu, do you hear this?
All right, Indiana comes to town. We're not doing this now. Indiana comes to town. Garrison.
Yeah.
I think I look at the Indiana football program and all I see is the doormat of the Big Ten East, and then proof, more than that, proof that the 2020 COVID year was all the more of a joke. They went 6-2.
They had Penix.
They had Penix. They went 6-2 the year. I think Allen won one of Tom Allen, that coach, won one of the Coach of the Year awards that year.
He did.
They went 6-2. Let's look at his record before that. He came to Indiana. I think he coached the bowl game in 2016, so the one game. But then 2017 went 5-7.
Okay.
2018 5-7. 19 8-5, and that was with Penix, who is potentially a Heisman winning quarterback. Maybe. Yeah. We'll see this weekend, which is going to be an awesome game in Seattle against Oregon. Can't wait. Then they go 6-2, and then they go 2-10, 4-8, and now they're 2-3, and they might win 2 more games. Maybe. So I look at that team, and I like Tom Allen. I think he's an energetic coach. Seems like a player's coach, someone you want to rah behind. But I don't know. I look at that program and I look at the doormat of the Big Ten East and proof that 2020 season was a joke.
It's IU, man. Like it's not. I used to be able to give Indiana credit, and say, they might not stop you. They're probably gonna lose the game. But what I do know about Indiana is that they're gonna score some points. I used to go into a game playing Indiana, mostly in the Urban Meyer days. I would say when Indiana walks into the building, they're gonna get 20 points. Then we'll see what happens after that. Not anymore. That if you didn't see it week 1, Bryce, I mean, they can't move the ball. Like he literally went in there, ran the option. And listen, Indiana, if you think you're gonna go and play Michigan and run that weak option offense, you got another thing coming. It should be a blowout, Bryce. And I mean of what biblical proportions. Watch this. Oh, good grief. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. We try to be a legit operation over here.
Yeah, sorry guys. We lost cabin pressure here.
But you're absolutely right, man. This is not the Indiana of old. You talk about the pass offense. This is an offense that I just had this. There we go. This is an offense that's 109th in points a game, passing offense that's 77th, and a rushing offense that's 112th. After their game, they're coming off a bye week. After their game against Maryland 2 weeks ago on the Sunday, they fired their offensive coordinator. 5 games in, they fired their offensive coordinator. He's gone. They bring in somebody new, their analyst and O-line coach. But, so should the offense look different? Probably not too different. But it's a mess down there in Bloomington. It's a mess.
Yeah, let's just call it what it is, Bryce. They have no hope. It's another weak game for you guys that you can be able to chalk up on your resume.
I watched the game against Maryland. Went back, watched the tape, and just a couple touch points. One, their quarterback's a freshman. He looks like he's got potential. Kind of reminds you of a Nebraska quarterback, Heinrich. But the quarterback is Taven Jackson. So he's got some athleticism, can maybe sling the ball. He's got a weapon on the outside, Donovan McCulley, who's just a big body, number one. Obviously, I think you'll know his name quickly in the game, but he's going to be the guy that Jackson's going to throw the ball up to when they need something and everything's collapsed, everything's fallen down.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be his outlet, his go-to. But other than that, man, not a lot to worry about on the offensive side.
Yeah.
You're right. They do run that triple option, which is always a ton of fun out of the shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some honesty play that you just have to be aware of. But I anticipate Michigan's defense should just tee up and get to this quarterback. And I watched that game, Garrison, and I don't think Tua is that good of a quarterback.
Talia.
Thank you. Talia is that great of a quarterback. It looked like he was playing 7-on-7s. They drop back in a zone, and
what's up with
there's
your hate? What's up with this Talia hate out of you?
It's not hate. I just think he's overhyped. I don't think he's that good. Like, people had him as the top 3 quarterback in the Big Ten.
Do you think, I'll give you an example. Do you think Sean Clifford is a better quarterback than him?
Yeah. Sean Clifford didn't throw 11 picks.
Bryce, I don't think anyone in their right mind would agree with you on that, because most people obviously know. Most people obviously know what Maryland is working with is not the same as what Penn State is working with.
Oh, fine, sure.
In the blue chip ratio, Penn State has the second best roster in the Big Ten.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, so just to say, because of where he is, he's not good, man. He's a really good quarterback, Bryce. He not really good, but he's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback, man.
I feel like you can't change the goalpost there, saying he's a good quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback.
Well, I ain't call him great.
I think it's easy to get lost in stats, especially with you Buckeye fans. I know you love your quarterback stats, but daggone, man, a quarterback's got to take care of the football, and he just doesn't. And he makes back-breaking throws that completely throw off a team's flow. And he's got weapons on the outside. It's not like Maryland's got a bunch of 2-3 star wide receivers. Like, they've had talent.
It's not what Penn State's working with. It's not what Ohio State's working with. No. It's not what Michigan's working with. Like, come on.
I know. But to see that he's still throwing picks, made no real progress.
They are an undisciplined team, and they have been with Mike Loxley, and they have been with him.
Yep. So I don't know. I would have said if he would be able to take this next step and eliminate the turnovers and keep the production up, I would say, all right, I can entertain that conversation. But I feel like it's just been
that's fair.
His entire career.
That's fair.
The defense, the Hoosier defense, is not a disciplined defense. Garrison, the spread's what, 33?
Yes.
I know you don't get high in your own supply, but give me the Wolves minus 33.5.
I'll get to that a little bit later.
All right. And then just a couple of things I want to see, because this is the point of emphasis talking about these games that we kind of started with last week. What do we want to see from these games? These games where we're massive favorites. A lot of the same. Still enjoy this. Minnesota, the game was awesome because it was just a beat down top top to bottom, beginning to end.
Yeah.
Same thing here. I want to see JJ sling the football more. I think the defense is going to allow it. I think, like last week, he had 1 passing touchdown, ran for 2. We don't need him running options. Why are we running options against Minnesota? He doesn't need to get hit. I know he likes to hit. He's a hockey player, but he doesn't need to get hit.
Mm-hmm.
So let's sling the ball. Let's get Roman a few more touchdowns. Help.
Yeah, I saw someone said that. They're like, he's a hockey player. I'm like, he's still a quarterback. Like quarterbacks don't like to get hit. They don't.
And he doesn't need to.
Yeah.
When you can go up 2 possessions against the Buckeyes in Columbus, lower your shoulder. Let's get that touchdown. But not against Maryland, not against Indiana. So JJ, let's sling the football. You'll be done by halfway through the third. Go get your points. Go give Roman Wilson a few more touchdowns so that we can get him to be a day 1 or 2 draft pick. Let's get there. And then last thing, Garrison, is it's gonna be fun to see Jack Tuttle and AJ Barner play their old team. Those of you who don't know, AJ Barner, number 89, Jack Tuttle, backup quarterback, 13, former Hoosiers.
He's definitely gonna get in the game eventually.
Yeah, he better.
Yeah.
He better. All right. Well, I feel like we're knocking on the doorstep for next week, where Penn State comes to town, comes to Columbus, Michigan goes to East Lansing at night. Big week next week. We got a lot coming for that. But for now, we have.
I might have to go to that game, dude. I might have to go.
It could be a fun day for you. You guys hopefully lose to Penn State, and then
let me think. If I all right, so the Penn State game starts at noon, ends at around like 3:30.
You get to East Lansing, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, what's an hour and a half drive from here? Do some tailgating. Oh wait, the game's at night. Yeah.
Yeah, 7 or 6:30.
Oh boy.
7:30.
At least go tailgating and then go to like a bar or something. But yeah.
As long as you wear all Buckeye gear.
Oh, I will.
Good.
I will. Don't worry.
But don't do it don't do this outfit that you have on now. Just wear the hat and then like a flannel.
Oh no!
You gotta go all.
No! Jersey and all.
Good man.
Jersey and all. I might even wear the socks. Oh, come on. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I have one thing to ask you about. Jim Harbaugh's comments about J.J. McCarthy. Now, your coach is the gift that keeps on giving, Bryce. Now, he wasn't even asked. His answer didn't even just the question I was asked him, Bryce, he didn't even have to give this answer. And he said he's been the best quarterback in the nation with Caleb Williams. Bryce, can you please admit that that's an absurd comment? Knowing what you've seen in the Pac-12, that's an absurd comment to say that J.J. McCarthy has been the best quarterback in the nation so far.
Why are you guys still triggered by these comments?
Because Bryce, I like actual football commentary, and I hate stupidity, blasphemy, and just pure ignorance coming out of your coach's mouth or anyone's mouth. That's a crazy comment. You know it is, and it is like. And we've had this conversation before. It's one thing to build. It's one thing to build your guy up. That's another thing to go say some crap like that. You know that, Bryce. Come on.
I don't know why you're surprised by it.
Right. Because, Bryce, you don't have to say that. You can say he's
why not? You got
because it's a lie. Back. It's a lie, and he doesn't believe it.
Oh, just like PJ Fleck doesn't believe what he said about Michigan.
It's Bryce. He played 2015 Ohio State.
Maybe not everybody's in Buckeye fantasy land, man.
Bryce, because we didn't. I forgot to let you know that PJ Fleck in his time as a head coach did play the 2015 Ohio State team. That Michigan team is not that Ohio State team. I don't care how they finish this year. It ain't that team.
Careful now.
Outside of quarterback, Bryce, there is a nan player on this team, that's Michigan team, that touches anyone on that Ohio State team. Not running back, not tight end, not the wide receivers, and no one on the defense.
No one on the defense. Are you talking about the national championship team or the year after that?
Right, it's the same team that came back the next year, basically, literally basically the same team that came back the next year, except for a few guys and a few pieces. That team is not anywhere near them. Blake Corum isn't starting on that team. No wide receiver is starting on. Yes.
I remember that. Okay, well, it's week 6. It's way too early to tell.
Bryce, if 2015 Ohio State and this Michigan team jumped on the field right now, who's winning that game? And I don't want some slappy material out of you. Who is winning that game?
Wait till the season's over. Let's bookmark this. Write it down in your little notepad.
They
Write
were
it down.
national. They came into the season as national champions, Bryce.
If Michigan wins the Natty this year, what are you gonna say?
Damn good team. They're not being that 2015.
Okay.
Bryce,
We're
they
not
were
having
already
this conversation
champions.
We're not having this
All right.
conversation now.
I'm
Write
just
it
saying,
down.
you know that comment is crazy.
Write it down in your little notepad.
You don't want
Bookmark
to
it.
say it, and you don't want to say it because you're being you want to be a pumper of JJ. You know
Heck yeah.
that comment. That comment is crazy. He hasn't been better than Michael Penix. All right, go ahead, Bryce.
I just don't know what you expect. The fact that you don't expect Jim to say tells me you haven't paid any attention.
He'd be the 5th best quarterback in the Pac-12 right now.
That's stop. All right, get your picks. Let's say your picks. Say your picks.
Wait, real quick. Who's he better than? Is he better than Penix?
Could be.
I'm asking you, is he?
Oh, dude, we have 5 minutes left here.
You are so scared to answer these questions. All right, Brett. So this is what we got here. You're being very.
No,
right.
It's not even that. It's just
no. Let's move on, Bryce. Let's move on.
It's the fact you're still surprised.
Let's move on from the conversation. It's just you don't want to be honest and answer the questions. Thank you.
Give your picks. The fact you're still surprised that Harbaugh says.
Well, are you still on this?
Go ahead.
All right, thank you. Good grief. We have 4 minutes.
Real through
them. Yeah. Give me Mizzou plus 2.5 against UK.
Okay.
I think Missouri's gonna be able to score the ball. I don't think UK can keep up. Give me Oregon State -3 against -3.5 against UCLA. I'm a believer in Oregon State. USC +3 against Notre Dame. Now, USC can't stop anybody, but I sure enough know they can score that ball. And Notre Dame can't. And they've been on. This is a rough streak for Notre Dame, dude. So many ranked teams. My goodness, 5 in a row. 5 ranked teams in a row.
Brutal.
This is the lock of the week, Bryce, and I don't know how Vegas came up with this number. Oregon and UW -67.5. Lock it up. Actually, it's 67. Lock it up. That's free money, baby.
Yeah,
that's free money.
That goes back to the USC Colorado game where it's like there's no over big enough to not take it.
And maybe like you gotta bet a lot of money to make some money back. It's worth it.
Yep.
It's worth it.
Yep. That's
here's my number 5. Here's my 5th one. Now, for all of Indiana's ailments on their team, there is one thing they do have, Bryce. They actually do have a very good defensive line. A very good defensive line. I can't think of his name right now. He plays on the edge and inside. He goes back and forth. He was actually one of the top. I forget his name. He's one of the top transfers last year in college football. 4-star transfer. Give me the +33.5, Indiana. +33.5. I don't think you guys cover that.
Okay.
I don't. Because what I do know is this.
I don't hate that.
In the Big Ten season, Michigan and Ohio State too, they're offered one weird game.
Yeah.
This is going to be your weird game.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to judge you off of it, but this is your weird game.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. I feel like you've grown.
But if you lose,
if we lose to Indiana, you can just have this show. I'm just not going to come back. All right. Give me the Scarlet Knights favorites against MSU. I really just think that program's a toast. I normally try to stay away from betting MSU unless I'm taking them so that it can be a gambler's penance. You can't lose type situation.
Yeah.
I think Rutgers is a decent football team. Give me Navy -3 against the Charlotte 49ers.
Is this your second time betting on Navy?
Yeah, I took Army last week and lost.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yep.
The lesser of the military. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Army is the lesser, you're saying. You're in the Navy, man. Yeah.
Yes.
Right, that's what I thought.
Big Navy.
Kansas is a 3-point favorite against Oklahoma State. I feel like I looked at that line a couple times and I was just like, wait, what? And I know that Jaden Daniels has been I think hurt. Yeah, that's the word. Boy, hard word to find. Hurt. But their backup's got a lot of reps. Played well. I think Oklahoma State's a terrible football team. I can't believe that's only 3 and that game's in Lawrence. Wyoming +10.5 against Air Force. I think Wyoming's a really good football team. Tell me I'm missing something. 10 points. They beat Tech. They played Texas hard. They blew out Fresno State, who was ranked last week. How is that a 10-point?
And Bryce, if you allow me to just keep just going after other branches, yeah, but it's the chair force. They don't do much anyways. That's a cover.
Yep. Lock of the week. Ready? UMass plus 41.5. Not because I think UMass is going to win. That game could be 40-3, but because Penn State's got the Buckeyes next week. They go to Columbus.
Down Brown.
Yep, it's going to be a two-quarter game with starters. They'll go up 28-0, maybe get a couple reps in the third. They'll be done. Some funky last-minute points. Lock of the week, UMass plus 41 in the hook. All right, we'll see y'all next week.
All right.